Sorry, I'm running a little behind. I hope you can hear me, and I got it set up properly today. Let's make sure my desk is all situated here. Hi, Shirley, can you hear me okay? Let me switch this around here. There we go. It says I'm live. Can you hear me? Just kind of wait and make sure I hear if someone tell me they can hear me. Hello, hello. I turned it on okay. We all good? Hi, Markel. Can you hear me? I'm a little behind tonight. Can you hear me? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Kind of waiting to hear here. Make sure. All right. So Christopher said he could hear me. Awesome. Thank you. Hi, guys. Well, we're going to play tonight with some of the friendship release. I am a little behind with everything getting back. So thank you. Hi, Walter. Hi, Karen. Thank you. Awesome. Great. It's been kind of a whirlwind. I obviously was stuck in some of the traffic, or not the traffic, but the airline craziness. And I made it back about 2 o'clock in the morning on Monday morning, and I don't have my dies cut apart yet. You can see, but you can't talk. That's all right, Kate. No problem. And Isis, you're watching while you're at the salon waiting for your hair appointment. That works for me. So I'm going to quick cut apart these dies. These are the Sunshine Friends, I believe. I apologize. Oh, here, I've got it here. I know what I'm doing. I just don't have, yes, I have the Sunny Friends cutting die, and we're going to use this little snail guy tonight, okay? So I'm kind of quickly cutting those apart because I didn't, if you haven't used the snips from Bruce Monroe yet, they are awesome. I love them. I got them a few weeks ago, and I've been using them. So when I cut my dies apart, I tend to just twist and do that. I'm going to leave some of these. I'm going to quick cut these big pieces off, but I'm going to leave these pieces together. So I wanted to tell you that tonight there is a free gift with purchase. I don't know if they're set up for closed captions or not. That is a good question. I think no, because I think that's a different feature. I think it's maybe on repeat. But I'm not 100% sure. I don't know. So you'll have to let me know if you see something in there. I am not gonna, if it's okay with you guys, I'm not gonna cut them all tonight, all of the dies out. We're just gonna cut the little triangle pieces because they're part of the snail. And I've got his antennae, and where's the last one? Here it is. Here we go. Am I missing a little piece? Oh, we got his eyes, nose, and mouth here. That's the other piece we need right there. Got it. And I'm going to be very, 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 very careful. Yeah, okay, thank you. They're generally after the live, the closed captioning is. So I'm sorry if you can't hear me while you're at your appointment. But I'm also going to use this Be Yourself because we have this How Do Snails Keep in Touch? They use their shell phones. Yes, they are the best, aren't they? I love them. They're actually the first snips I've ever owned, if you guys can believe that. So I'm going to be very careful to not hurt myself because I didn't cut all my end pieces off. I kind of forgot to do this. It's been a craziness. We're going to use the new Simple Blend ink pad. And if you give me just a second, I probably went away for a minute. I wanted to see, there is a free gift. When you $75 or more, you get the Santa's Visit stamp set, and $100 or more, you get this coordinating die with order. That is live now. It's a collaboration with Tailored Expression. It was a stamp set that was a collaboration with Tailored Expressions. I don't have it with me right this minute, so I can't show you that. But you can, if you go to the website, up in the top, there's a banner and it shows you what that is. Hi, Mom. How are you? All right, let's get started. I was running late because I was getting ready for CYOE and I brought my die cutting machine with me. And guess what? I left it in the car. So I was running outside to grab that and my ink because or my glue, because obviously we need that to craft tonight. So, hi, Ellen. So we're going to do a little bit of ink blending, and then we'll do a little bit of pattern paper. So let's get started. And I'm going to grab a few pieces of Perfect Blend out. I'm not sure what paper. I think I wanted to use the paper from Laura Basson's class. I just had it here. We had this amazing class with her. And hi, Penny. That sounds fun. Hi, Francie. This is the Rainbow Rewind. Look at how beautiful this paper is. Isn't that fun? And these are all the patterns in it. And I'm going to use this as my background. I am kind of using a card I saw online. I don't remember who showed it to me, but I'm going to use their idea and go with it. We're going to make a fun fold. I have a plan. We need this one, and I want the black and white. And we're going to just go for it. I don't know all the measurements. I'm going to make the measurements up as I go, if that's all right with you guys. You made it over from Facebook. Awesome. Oh, that's okay, Francie. I forgot like my die cutting machine out in the car, and I ran out to get it. And then, of course, the car was locked, so I had to run in and grab the car keys. So what we need is we need a card base, which I did not grab. We just need an A2 card base. Actually, I'm going to make one because I need a top folding one. So I'm going to grab a different piece of Not Your Mama's as my card base. And do I have a die cutting machine? I do. They are amazing. I was going to foil with one tonight, but I forgot to get my foil out. So we'll foil with one this weekend. I can't wait to play with all of it. I haven't had a chance to. So I'm cutting the Not Your Mama's down to make an A2 card base. Yeah, it's been a whirlwind. It seems like since that initial, you know, I had a fabulous time. Christopher and gang were great hosts. Sharon's food was amazing. Everyone's company was great. I had a great time. But to start that 6 o'clock flight on Friday morning to find out my flight was canceled, I was like, oh no. But I got there. So yeah, I was showing off the gams again tonight. Always, right? Hi, Kelly. How are you? So I've got an A2 card base here. And then we need just some pattern paper. The first thing we're going to do is cut down a couple of panels. Now, I don't have the exact measurements. We're going to, like I said, make it up as we go. I'm going to use all the pattern paper the same way. So what I'm going to do is cut this in half, 3 inches. Because we're going to make a little flaps, some flaps that are going to go. So I'm going to do 3 inches by, I think 2.5 sounds good to me. So we need a flap for here. And then I think we need another color. We need another, let's see, we'll do the red, I think. What other color should we do? Red, and let's do the blue. Oh, yeah, I want to do this blue. Okay, those are. If you got them, flaunt them. Exactly. And we're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to cut this down to 3 inches. Oops, I cut that one backwards. Measure twice, cut once, right? That's all right. That's why we do these things. They're fun. Okay, so this was the green piece. Okay, we're going to put it in this way. Cut down at 3 inches. And then we're going to cut this one down at 2.5 inches as well. So actually, we're going to do this one at 2.75. Hi, Melissa. How are you? Okay. So we've got our flaps, which I'll show you what I mean by flaps. So they're a little bit taller. Then, of course, we need this piece, which needs to be A2 card size. So 4.25 by 5.5. So I need to do the 5.5 first because I want the pattern all to go the same way. If you were using non-directional pattern or a, oh, I did do that wrong, didn't I? No, I needed to go 4.5 by 5.25. There we go. Then you wouldn't have to measure and worry about the direction. So you dozed off in your chair. So this piece is going to go right here. Looks like my card base might be a tiny bit big. We'll trim that down. And then we need a card panel. And the reason we're going to do that is because this is going to help hide our flaps. Okay. So the gist of this card is we're going to have them overlap like this. And I might even do it so that they kind of match the pattern the best that we can, like this. So we might do some trimming, okay? So I'll measure everything. Hi, Jill, how are you? I'll measure everything for sure and put it in the description, hopefully tomorrow, as long as the day plays nice with me. But that is the preface of our fun flap. So we got to do some scoring lines. We're not going to do a lot of stamping, I don't think, tonight, other than a sentiment. So I'm going to put these two together in my scoreboard because I want to see, I'm going to use them to line up with each other so I can get the pattern to basically match. So I need to score at, let's see, move that down, make it straight, 5/8. Nope, we're just going to do half and then we'll just make it work. Oh, I think I did 5/8 after all. Okay, we got that. So we see how that and it matches up. It's pretty close. I'm going to bring that up closer. You see how that's going to match? And we're going to attach it to the back. Okay. And then I'm going to use this one and we're going to line this one up and I'm going to flip my card panel over like this. And we're going to match this up again. And I'm going to have them overlap each other a little bit. And let's see here. I got this all the way up to the edge. This is a little bit because I'm trying to match the patterns. It looks like 1 inch. Okay. So we're going to do 1 inch on this one. So if you didn't want to match your patterns up or you're using different patterns, you wouldn't have to be so precise with your measurements. Hello, Cherie. So we've got our little patterns here. So this is kind of the basis of our card. It's going to line up. We're going to get it all lined up and glued down. Making this probably a little more complicated than it needs to be. There we go. Okay. So let's get that flipped over. And I'm going to just use some, I think I'm just going to use liquid glue because I'm not sure if I have, oh, I did. I put some of that tape in here. This is some of the Thermoweb tape, this Easy Tear tape from iCraft. This is in the store. You can do that next week. I was going to foil some tonight. I think this is going to be beautiful. I didn't actually grab another piece of this paper. I'm going to have to order some of that. That sounds good. I was trying to think what color I could do. I wanted to do on the black, other than the foils we've been using lately, and see what other decal foils I had. But I just kind of, last night I was helping Sarah with our little takeover. And so I was kind of watching in the background to make sure everything was going okay. And then, so I didn't get a lot done. I was very distracted watching. I was having fun watching. So I'm just going to go ahead and we're going to peel these off. I'm going to add a little more. I don't be perfect or anything with my tape. I just kind of tear it. So yeah, I knew he wasn't feeling the best. So I did want to say, don't forget, I'm going to put my little plug in for the CYOE challenge too. It's Christmas in July. You still got a little bit of time left for that. I am looking forward to possibly getting some crafting done Saturday. And for those of you who were at the event, I have the first pile of, I'm just lining this up. And I'm going to just hold it down over here and peel this off. And then I'm going to attach it down. If I can, I might need my stabby tool for this because my fingernails aren't working. I got the first class, Christopher's class, typed up today, the instruction posted in the group. So if you're looking for them, I've got part of the make and takes done because that's about all the time I had after this afternoon. and I will get the rest done as time allows me, and hopefully by the end of the week. Yeah, Sarah did a great job last night. I'm like actually nervous to follow her because she did such a fabulous job, to be honest with you. So this one, we're just going to line it up. So I'm lining it up here, and I'm lining it up with this. Kind of remind me tomorrow to add you to the things I said. Okay, I will. It was on my list to wait, you know, it's not that it had to be right away, but I will do that. So it's been kind of crazy. So I have a great funny story to you. Thanks, Francie. I was actually like, if there was any mistakes, I'll fix them and then fix it up. I tried to read it over, and then I spelled Christopher wrong. I put HP, so I had to take it down and put it back up. So here's our card front. See how fun that is? Got lots of color. And then the reason, I guess I don't need this panel. I lied about that. We're just going to put it right down on our card base like this. But I want to trim it just a hair because I'll just put that on my keyboard because it is a little bit off. My desk is just all this. What are you waiting for? Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, I didn't read what that said. I'm sorry. Oh, you're welcome, Glinda. I've done it before, and I kind of knew. The thing that takes me the longest is I'm very thorough in my personal opinion, but I like to make sure that I have them everything we need as well. And it's so for those who just want to look at the list, they can quickly look at the list, and then they don't have to do anything, you know, if they know how to do the card, or, you know, so, and I like to kind of explain it a little bit. So, oh, you're welcome. Like I said, I will work on the others as time allows me and get them in it. It shouldn't take me too long. Other than I didn't watch all of the cards that were pre-recorded. So that one might take me a little longer because I do need to pay a little more attention to that. And I do it in between my tasks that I have. So I will get through them as quickly as possible. So, but I have a funny story to tell you guys. Oh, yes. I'll talk to you guys about something else later on. Just you gotta give me till August, okay? Get me through this week, and then I will post a couple things in Basecamp for you guys for the team. So I just attach it to my card base. So this is our basic of our card. Okay. So I hope you guys like that. So now we got to do some die cutting and some blending and all that stuff. I didn't even grab any of my inks. So we're just going to go ahead and cut these down. I've got a piece of Perfect Blend here. We're going to cut out our little guy here, a little snail. And instead of using colored cardstock tonight, I just thought I would do a bunch of die cutting and inking. So we're going to make a rainbow card, but we're not going to necessarily we're going to use ink to kind of fill in our rainbow. Thank you. Oh, you're welcome, you guys. I like it. It's something I like to do. I was an English major in high school, so, you know, I'm not necessarily like a salesperson, but I can explain things. So, all right. So here I gotta go back to my funny story. Well, kind of a funny story. So obviously Monday night, craziness. I text my honey that I got my suitcase when I was in Cedar Rapids, and that I was headed towards the car. And he's like, it's crazy here. There's a lot going on. And I'm kind of like in my head going, okay, so I have this whole book from him that he wrote. And I mean that in the right way. I mean, this one didn't cut all the way out because I have a little depression in the side of my die cut machine here. So we got to run this through again. So he tells me this little story that he's in the garage. He's waiting for me to get home, turn the light on, you know, because it's about an hour and a half drive from the airport. And he hears the dog Fletch just barking up a storm outside. And he goes out there, and there's this tiny little pug that is about the size of a bunny in the yard. Thank you, Francie. And they are entangled with each other. And at one point, Fletch is carrying the dog around in his mouth. Pretty sure not to hurt him. I think more like puppy wise. And he gets them entangled and he gets Fletch inside. And Fletch is not really going berserk like I expected him to. He's just kind of barking. And this little pug is just there. And Tom's kind of not sure what to do with him. We don't know who he is. You know, it's very late at night. I might not have lined that up perfectly. There we go. All right. So I'm going to cut the eyeballs out first before we ink blend. So I'm going to line this up. This little die is the head, the eyes in the mouth. So we're just going to kind of line this guy up. I'm going to take some time here and I'll finish my story. And use some little tack tape. Anyway, so I'm driving down. It's an 1.5-hour drive. I'm driving up Front Street is what I call them. And it's our main drag right by the river there. And I text him on Front Street and he's like, it's still a crazy mess here. And I'm like, oh boy. So, you know, it takes me about 2 minutes to get down the street and get down, and I drive in and he's standing in the garage. Oh, my camera turned. Sorry about that. I want to make sure my camera stayed on course here. You're welcome, Kate. And as I pull in the driveway, I can see him standing in the garage, light on, door open, all ready for me. And here comes this little pug. And I'm not kidding you. This pug's probably only about this big. He's bigger than my foot. And he comes and I'm like, oh, fudge. You're like freaking out. I'm freaking out that I'm going to hit him. So I get him away. He comes over and he's like, bah, 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 bah. Well, needless to say, this pug decides he's going to just come to our house. And I'm like, we can't be a 2-dog house. So I got in the house and Fletch was all happy to see me. And the pug just sat outside and for about an 1.5 hours. And then I think he went home, but it was just crazy. So, all right, we are going to change gears here now and go back to crafting. I've got our this is the new Simple Blend pad. Look at how beautiful it is. I haven't used it yet. And I got some of the new brushes. So I will link tomorrow to the sign up for this so that you can get them. You can sign up for the notifications for when they're restocked, but I do have them and I'm going to use them first time. I haven't even inked any of them up yet. So we're going to ink up our little guy here with this new ink. And that's kind of the colors. Look at the beautifulness. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? So we're going to make our guy. Let's see. I wanted to look. Where's my card base? We do have blue and that's okay. We're just going to ink him up and make him a little blue. And this is a great way. Yes, Kate. Positive vibes, good thoughts towards you. So that things are better. We're just going to kind of blend him on, and I can blend as much as I want or as little as I want. And we got our little guy here. Yeah, it's beautiful. Yes, they are, Melissa. So you could do, you know, if you do colored cardstock, you can do some shading, but I am just going to go ahead and just really just kind of ink him up, ink his bottom up here a little bit. And we got this little guy here. He needs I cut his face out. We're just going to grab some paper to put behind it. All right. So now we're going to put this guy away and we're going to grab, and I have not put these together yet. So I do not know. I do not think they have to go in any specific order, but we're just going to do every other color. Okay. So I've got a couple other brushes here. See, I haven't even taken them out of the packaging yet to go with the others. And these fit perfectly in the corner with this. I will say I got to play with the other color that's coming out later this year that Christopher showed. And it stamps beautifully. He's kind of a slug, but he's going to be a snail. That's the slug part of the snail. So I'm just kind of inking up and then I'm going to show you. Look at it. Doesn't show up on camera the same. It looks blue, but it's actually very pretty purple. So we're going to go ahead and just ink blend this up. Yep, it's a snail, but you could use that other part as just the slug part. in reality. It could be the slug part. So I'm going to go ahead and there's a couple big pieces and there's a couple small pieces. So I'm going to make sure so do you see how, oops, I just put purple on that. So we're going to just do every other piece. And like I said, I really don't know if it matters. And because we're just going to put them together because it's going to make a circle. And it's just like pieces of pie. That one, and then very carefully, I'm going to wipe my fingers off before I do the other color. And we're just going to do this here. But this is a fun way. So if your craft room doesn't have enough room for all the colors because some of us have small craft rooms, then you can just die cut out a white and the perfect blend is perfect for coloring. Or if you don't have the right color, you can match your inks or you can match you can do that. You can custom color that. All right. I want to make sure my fingers stay clean. So I'm going to quickly, my new squeaky clean will be here tomorrow. So I got the new one, but it would make a great slug. You are right about that, but he's my snail tonight. And then we need this brush and we're going to do green with the other. And then to add the other colors in, we might do a little die cutting of some colored cardstock because we need yellow and orange yet. But I want this slug to be kind of a cool color. Cool colors tonight. Oh, I didn't even show you that one up front. It's called Wish. I know I probably went away. I'm really bad at the squeaky clean smells because, let me double check. Rainbow Wishes is what it's called. Rainbow Wishes, and it smells very, very, very good. I smelled it for the first time at the store, and it was so good. So for your Pittsburgh people or people that are in the area, I went to Paige's for dinner. Yeah, did I poke you? It was fabulous. So that was very good. I had the cookie butter shake, and it was heaven sent. And then I had the Italian hoagie. So then for our little snail, we need our antennae and a face. And I'm just going to go ahead. Yeah, and I did poke. I got my wax stick right here, Francie. I'm going to go ahead and grab my Raven ink. And that is not Raven, I think. Not sure my Raven. Well, we'll grab one of our new. I also bought a bunch of the new blending brushes, the 2-packs. So I have enough for every color, including, me and my Fanatic. I need a light blue and a dark blue. So we'll ink this one up with Raven. This will be my Raven one. Oh, it was so good. It was so good. I probably could have had another. I mean, Heather took a picture of me drinking my first taste of that cookie dough, and you can see the look on my face that I was just like, this was heaven. All right, I'm just grabbing a small piece of paper here for the face. Yeah, she better. Yes, you do have proof now that I poked you. I'm just going to blend this whole thing with black, and then we'll cut it down for his face. You could cut the little pieces out if you really wanted to, but I'm going to add that's just behind for a little dimension to his face. And that saves me the little tiny pieces. You could also add some gems if you wanted to, or anything like that. So there we go. Then we got this little piece. We got to let those dry a couple of minutes, just because the ink needs a little bit longer to dry. So while we're waiting for that, we're going to stamp out our sentiment and die cut some other shapies here. Citrus pine squeaky clean. I'm not an expert, Melissa, in squeaky clean. I know cinnamon hearts because it's my favorite. That's the one I know more than anything. So I got a bunch of paper in here from my trip because I was stamping on the go. So I am not a positive one on those other flavors. So we need our stamp set. Where did I see it? Did you see where I put the stamp set, you guys? Told you, it's a mess around here right now. I haven't been able to put everything away yet, so there it is, underneath all the papers. How do snails keep in touch? They use shell phones. Lavender, I think I've heard of lavender, but I'm not, like I said, I'm not a super, because the other one that I really liked, it's Elizabeth. Okay, so this is how I describe it. It's kind of like, it's not musk to me, but it smells like an amazing cologne perfume that I just want to wear. And I may or may not have sprayed myself about 8 or 12 times just on Saturday alone. So it could be. There was, I believe, a pine one at one point. I don't know if there's a new citrus pine one. I haven't looked, Melissa, yet. So the one I really liked that was we got in an event a few years ago. We got little tiny bottles of it. That one's empty, but it was Bonfire, and it smelled, and you know what? It was crazy how good it smelled. So it was one of those, it smelled smoky, but yet I was so sad when I used that one up. Now I know there's the peachy kind that was from May, and that was amazing. I finally used mine up for that, but I just usually kind of go with the cinnamon hearts. It reminds me of gum, a big red gum, and it just smells so good. And I really like cinnamon gum. I think it's one of my favorite flavors. So, all right, I just stamped the wrong sentiment, didn't I? That's okay. I'm all just, yeah, I apologize. That's okay. We can have it. We can use that. If we have time, I'll make a second card. How does that sound, guys? It is. I was just trying not to necessarily say that out loud. And I didn't know what that meant, Melissa, the thousand one, because I haven't been to that store in a long time. But it smells amazing. I would say warm vanilla sugar, like a warm vanilla sugar smell or sugar vanilla smell is one of my favorites. And then the cinnamon, that's just a smell that I like. And then this cinnamon hearts, though, does a lot of smell for me. It's like I said. All right, there we go. We got our sentiments. And I know I talked about this last week. I'm just going to wipe this off. That if you are in the midst of cleaning and you have a bunch of stamps, go ahead. I keep an acrylic block off to the side and I just throw my stamps on there. And then I can clean them afterwards when I'm all done with like the live or if we're doing a bunch of stamping. So you just cleaned Shimmer Splash off your glass mat. I love Shimmer Splash. It's one of my favorites products. We might have to use some of that tonight because you know what I haven't used yet? The pearl. If you can believe that. I just haven't had a whole lot of time to play with it yet with leaving for Pittsburgh. So just going to cut this down a little bit. I just kind of line it up and we got our sentiment. All right, let's get our snail put together. But I think we need to pop them up on a color. And I'm thinking that I want to pop them up on some phone book. How does that sound? So we get our yellow in here. And then we need a little bit of orange because we've got our red. We need orange and yellow. We've got green. We've got our blue. We've got some purple. So we need some yellow and some orange. So let's find my phone book here. Oh, I changed my mind. I don't know where my phone book. That's not. We've got our jack-o'-lantern. That'll be our yellow or orange. Where is phone book? There it is. Okay. Oh, I have my favorites from there, Melissa, but they don't make them anymore, so I don't go there very often because they don't have mine. So just gonna grab a couple small pieces out because I just want small pieces to use as accents. And then we're gonna go ahead and grab our easy element dies. And this is what we're going to put our little snail guy on. I'm going to cut him out, I think, of yellow. That's what I want. Yes, I am not a floral fan for the most part. I get migraines from it. It doesn't mean I can't be around flowers and florals, just very strong flower scents. I'm kind of weird when it comes to scents and flavors. Like, I don't like watermelon. I love fake watermelon, but I don't like watermelon. Okay. Now I think what I want to do is we're going to add all the rest of our colors in the same spot. And of course, my die cut machine is not acting up. So we're going to flip our die plate over and try to line that up one more time. Put it in the hole. So what I did is I just lined it back up and I can't twist it. So I know it's in its spot. And I'll just tape it in place. And then I'm going to flip my plates upside down. I do find that every once in a while, my roller is on the top of my little machine, and even on my Sizzix, that sometimes if I just flip it upside down, if I have a dead spot on my plate that's not cutting, that helps. And look at that, popped right out. So we've got our yellow, but I think to add our other color, this might not be big enough. We're going to do the orange, and we're going to put them underneath each other. So I'm going to get another piece of the jack-o'-lantern and cut this down. Yep, it just snaps into place. But then I always make sure that I use a little bit of tape to hold it in place, because even though it snaps into place, half the time this is just barely going to fit on my little cutter plate here. Cut that down, do a little fancy die cutting. We're going to cut into this plate, then we'll get it good. It will move otherwise sometimes, so I like to make sure I have it in place. All right. I'd have to turn my little fan on. Ooh, that sounds really good, Walter. I don't know that one. So it's my favorite Bath and Body Works story, to be honest with you, is my little boy, who's not so little anymore. 1 year wanted to go in there and buy Mama a gift. And so he asked me for some money, and I gave him, I don't know, I think 20 bucks. But he's like, you can't come with me. So yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. I like it. I like it a lot. And I think we're going to put it right in the middle, and we're going to attach it so it's all one big piece. That's okay with you guys. I think that's what we're going to do. So we got our colors. Now we just got to put our thing together. Anyway, so I gave him $20, and he was probably on like third, fourth grade, old enough that he could go in the store by himself, but not old enough that he could be by himself because it was Christmas time. And he went in the store, and I was just kind of hanging on the outside, and the lady came out and said, can I help you? And I said, no, my son just went in to buy me a Christmas gift. She goes, well, what do you want? And I said, I don't care. He gets to buy it for me. He gets to buy whatever he wants. And I said, but if you can you steer him towards the fruit flavors instead of the flower flavors? And then I don't care. He ended up buying me 8 bottles of hand soap, which was great. So orange cranberry, but Longaberry used to have an orange pine candles that were, ooh, okay. Gazoon type. So here we go. We've got our card. So now what we got to do for this is we're going to have to kind of figure out how, so we're going to glue this down in just this corner so it doesn't stick. And it just goes on that piece. So there's our main part of our card. Yeah, it was very sweet. So that became a tradition that I would send him in the store with some money and he'd go buy me something. And it seemed like it was always hand soap. I'll have to ask him that this weekend when I see him if he remembers that. All right, now let's get our little snail put together here, and then we'll figure the rest of it out. I'm going to use, do I have a small acrylic block here? I do, to hold this in place. Here is the main part of our card, and then we got to glue our little face behind. And I'm not going to do anything fancy. I'm just going to kind of tear it because we're not going to really see it. All we need is a little piece that isn't going to be shown. So we're just tearing off. You could cut it. I'm just going to tear it, use my fingers. He was a sweetheart. I do remember the only other time I can really, really remember him buying a gift on his own is I opened present. He bought presents for everyone in the family and I opened mine. And he had gone to the local dollar store and he bought me 3 rolls of Scotch tape. Not quite sure why he thought I needed Scotch tape, but I thought that was really funny. I was just like, it was the thought that counted. And it was super sweet. So for some reason, he thought that year I needed Scotch tape. So we're just going to glue this guy down. And I didn't put a lot of glue right here because we're going to stick his little antennae in there. They are the best tools. They're the best mixing tools too for cooking in reality. There we go. So our little guy's coming together. And then I'm going to quick put my dies in here before I lose them, because there's a lot of them on here and I don't want to lose them. And then we got our little pieces here. So I think what I'm going to do is we're going to go ahead and just glue the first one down. Francie, you got your goggles? I'm getting it out. Here it comes. Be ready. I'm going to grab this big, I'm going to grab the green one, I think, first. And we're just going to go ahead and put him right there. And then we're just going to kind of put them together. I'm going to just add a little bit of glue on both sides. We're going to grab a purpley one, put it there. Grab another purpley one and put it there. And we're just going to kind of even them out a little bit so they kind of look close to, you know, the same amount around. Then I'll put a couple pieces of glue here, pieces of glue here. All right. I forgot to pull it out during my make and take, and it was really, really, it was even worse on the make and take camera than this. See, whoop, 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 duck, duck, duck. But I had it off to the side. I didn't use any gems. And then we've got our little purple right here. And we're just going to kind of pull them around. And then I got a little extra glue here. So she uses gift wrap. She uses a lot of tape saying she must be out by now. That's funny. Hello, Divu343. So there's the basics of our card. Now you could have some fun with this. You could add more layers on top of this. You could put it on a vellum piece, or you could do another little piece, like get a circle square out, you know, to like be the back side of you if you wanted. So we've got this part. And then we need to put our little piece of our little, I think we're going to also put this, we're going to put this on this part here. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and we're just going to put a little bit of glue at the bottom. And then we do need something on the inside. Most of the story didn't come out. I'm not quite sure what that means, Melissa. I apologize. So what we've got is we've got this and we've got this. And of course, we've got lots, and he needs a name. I'm going to name him Stewie. Don't ask me why. That's just what came out. It's Stewie. You could decorate here and here if you wanted to, but I think we're going to figure out something we're going to put in here. And I think for fun, we have like 15 minutes. Sheldon, we can be Sheldon. Let's go ahead and have a little bit more fun with the stamp set, if that's okay, or this die set. But instead of ink blending, let's go ahead and cut it out with colored cardstock. Let's add our little bee to this guy, if that's okay with you guys. I didn't cut them out though. That's okay. We don't need to. We'll get them snip, snip here. Shelly. Yep, Sheldon. Shelly. So I'm going to cut the little body off. And then I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to keep the stinger and this little eyepiece together. But I'm going to, and then after my live, I'm going to cut the pieces off of this. So be very careful, because I am not going to cut them off right now, but I'm going to cut the stinger off of that afterwards. And then these little pieces are like, Christopher called them the olive pieces. They're the wings. And we're going to go ahead and cut those out too. So we'll stick our little lemon. We don't need him tonight. Stewie the snail or slug. This is a lemon. Yep, this is a lemon. This is part of that set too. It's all one die. So there's a stem and the leaf and then a lemon, but I'm not going to add the lemon because we've got the little critter going on here. And what I think we're going to do is we're going to die cut this out quick, get it all put together. We're going to cut out this little piece, and I'm going to grab my little white piece, and we're going to ink blend that with some more Raven ink, if I can find it. It is a lemon. It is a lemon. All of these, this is available on the website. All of the Friendship releases live now. If you want to go in and check it out. And those were some of the products we used this weekend. From the paper pad to this die that we're using. The Simple Blends tricolored ink and these in this color, the green, blue, and purple is available. So you can go and get those if you would like. So they are all there, and I will link everything tomorrow. I don't always link before I come live because I sometimes change my mind. Yes, the Friendship Collection. And you can also scan the QR code up in the corner as well. That has the Friendship now. So I'm going to go ahead, and we got our stinger and we got our bee, and I know we got to do our wings yet, but I'll get to those in a minute. This bee comes together so cute. All right, so we got our little body here. We got our little stinger, and that's the eyeball, but we're going to leave him. I'm going to put him right there. And then we got our little stripes. We had so much rain this year that we had bumblebees, but not like we used to. I have a little orange blossom tree in the yard, and it smells amazing. And we usually have a billion bumblebees on them, and they sleep in them. And I just stand there and stare at them for hours. They're so fun to watch. All right, and then we need our wings. I don't know if I have vellum handy. I do. We're going to do a little piece of vellum for the wings. So, Melissa, I'm excited to sit down and actually make the projects from this weekend, all of them. I think it would be fun. Yeah, understand that completely. I am being careful. Oh, I did want to make an announcement that we have a new website for events called BritishMonroeEvents.com. You sign in, and that's where our events will be, and you can sign on. And right now there are a few items on there. There is the general admission to the anniversary party. The anniversary party VIP tickets are sold out. However, there is a super VIP. I'll tell you about that, Francie, in just a minute. The super VIP, the swag bag, is going to have some information. That's going to have some products that were older Brutus Monroe that are in the vault, and they will be in there. That is something you can add on if you already have your ticket. And then there's the Fall into the Holidays event, which is a completely virtual event. It's going to be one day. And that is in the Brutus Monroe events page as well. And then the Merry Making event, which is a Christmas event, I believe it's 2 days, is also available to register. And that is at BrutusMonroeEvents.com. Okay, so all right, we're going to add a little bit of fun to this guy. I'm just going to grab my little color. I don't know what color is even on here. We're just going to see if there's a little yellow, add a little dimension. You probably can't see it in the dark and on my tablet. And then I'm going to grab that. So it's, you know what, Melissa, it is what it is, and you'll have fun. I'm excited for the fall event. It's going to be fun. I added just a little bit of orange, whatever was on my orange brush. I don't even know what it is. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make him have a fat butt. And that's where my stinger is going to go. It's up to you where you want to put it, but that's where I'm going to, here I come, Francie. So I will be doing the events virtually. Obviously the fall event is virtual, Francie. So it's virtual for everyone. The Merry Making event is going to be like CYOE. It's a combination of virtual and in person. And that one's in November. But I am doing both. I will be doing both of them virtually. Hi, Lisa. How are you? I couldn't stop and see you because I knew you'd be sleeping. Okay, I got to move this over just a hair because of the size. So if you look at this, it's a little bit smaller. No, Francie, not all of it is. Just the fall into holidays will be is completely virtual, but the Merry Making event will be a hybrid, so you can do both. It was announced at the end of the Create Your Own Ending event. So, and then we're going to add this guy's little wings. And then I will show you up close what he looks like. I'm going to add him the wings like this. I think I might need a little more glue. Okay, I know he needs an eyeball. You made it, Sarah. Thank you. So his little wings are flying forward. We're going to go ahead and get him put down, and we're going to hide him. And I think he's going to be down here. We're going to put him down here a little bit. I'm going to put him on the flap instead of on the inside. And then we need to add we'll add a little bead or a little gem for his eyeball. And then I had that sentiment. We need a sentiment here. I think what else I want to do is we're going to go ahead and we're just going to, I'm just playing here, guys. We're just decorating the inside. I'm going to go ahead and stamp out this little bee, which is part of that Be Yourself stamp set. Woohoo! Whoop whoop. For Lisa, it was a thing. It was poor guy behind me on Friday. He didn't speak English. He had a translator with him, and he stood behind me in line for over an hour before he found out he had no reason to stand in line. His flight was not canceled. I felt so bad for the guy. And the lady in front of me, she got rerouted, but because she had checked her bag and it made it to her destination sooner, she had to stand in the long 2-hour line so they could reroute her bag. Well, she didn't need it rerouted. She needed to put it in cold storage. So it was nuts. But they were very nice. I had a great experience with American. They were not rude or mean. They were very helpful and made it safely. So here's our little bee. We're going to die cut him out with that same die set. And we're just going to use the same little piece here to cut out. And then we're going to, and he's on white this time, but that's okay. Yeah, Lisa, it was crazy, but it was what it was. A friend of mine who's actually from Iowa, she was stranded. She didn't get home she was in the southern part of the country, I believe, and she ended up having a couple flights. And I know there's a scrapbook store in Minnesota that's between here and my mom's house, and she's still at a show in Vegas, and she's been, I think, at the airport 4 times. So I'm lucky. I got in and out. I was kind of like you're getting me to Brutus Monroe. I had every flight, the train schedule, the bus station. I had everything ready to go. And I was like, these are what's going on. Get me on one. I'm just going to go ahead and take an Olo marker and we're going to color in. And I am going to color in 2 of the stripes on my little bee here. And then I'm just going to grab, this is just the inexpensive alcohol marker that I still have that's available in black, and cut in the color in the other ones. And then we're going to add this little guy to our top over here. So I'm going to put that on here. And then we've got this other. So we need to add a couple of gem blingies and we'll get a good night. We'll call that a night. I'm going to grab the hematite. I think, did I say that right? Nope, this is the emerald green. We're going to go with the emerald green because that's what I grabbed. And I'm a firm believer in just grabbing and going. And we're going to grab a few of those and they are going to go on our little guy's antenna. I'm stealing this idea from Christopher. This is what he did on his card in class. I love the bee and I love the little bee stamp. I kind of want to make a little panel with that. I didn't warn you, Francie. I hope you were already prepared. You know me, I just pull it out and then we're going to, I just get ready. And then we're going to add just a little bit of glue right there. And we're going to add a little thing right here. And we got our card. I'm just going to use my little cloth here to do that. And there we go. We got our little fun fold. Oh, Kate, my daughter lives in Jacksonville, so if she had to, you know, let me know. She could have hooked her up with something at least anyway. Yeah. Thanks, Francie. I knew what I said. Hey, Annie, thank you. So here's our little fun fold using a bunch of the release from the friendship release. So we've got one little fold that can come in here. We've got another little fun fold that comes in here. And then we've got our little bees in there. You could add a sentiment in here because it would be completely hidden. You know, the bee sentiment that I stamped out earlier. Wherever I put that, it could go in there. And then, of course, you have your little inside piece that you can add you can add your message to. So I kind of want to play with this a little bit more and do some more fun folds just like this, I think, but I want to use like pattern paper that's completely different. That's the different, not the same, different patterns. And I think that would be really fun. And then, you know, or put a fun little thing right here so that when you flop it open, your stuff is right here. But I appreciate you guys all tonight. Don't forget the free gift with purchase. There is the Santa. I don't know the name of it exactly, but it's a Santa Christmas set. If it's $75 and you get the coordinating dies at an order for 100, that is free gift with purchase. It's live now. And the events page, BruceMonroeEvents.com, for the fall into the holidays, the Merry Making event, and the general admission to the anniversary party, or the VIP swag bag, which can be added on. And check out the friendship release online, and I will see you guys later. How did you get oh, yes. Oh, I'm sorry. That was a question for Christopher, I think, or somebody. So I'm not sure if he's still here with us or not. Sarah will be live with us tomorrow in our takeover this week. So she'll have some fun with something there. So I hope you join us then. And then the fulfillment team will hopefully be live on Friday, live packing. So we'll see. Thank you guys this evening. Have a great rest of your week. And I will see you next time. Okay? Bye.